Do you think you could have been more successful or more sustainable career if you had lower expectations? You were going to a team that was playoff ready, championship ready, whereas Zach Wilson is going to a Jets team that we don't have great
Sure.
expectations. So put yourself in that position with Zach, and how beneficial can that be to his development, or maybe even detrimental?
I think there's two ways to go on this, right? You nailed it. I went into a team that was picking 15 or 16 overall, which means you're middle of the pack. They just missed the playoffs with Brett Favre and one bicep tendon. Like, this guy was hanging on for dear life. I just golfed with him about a month and a half ago, and he told a bunch of those stories, which were incredible, by the way. But so that's where that team was. They had great veteran leadership. We needed a couple receivers. We ended up getting Braylon Edwards, Santonio Holmes. And they had a tight end. They had a running back. We drafted a running back in Sean Green. So this is a team that was built to win immediately. And we were so good on defense. They won in spite of me multiple times my rookie year. Like, I have no shame in admitting that. I threw 5 picks against Buffalo, and we took the game to overtime, and we rushed for like 200 something yards. Like, that doesn't happen, right? So I went to a place where they expected to win immediately. Now, I loved it, but it also set the bar really high. There was only one way to go. When you get to the AFC Championship game, your first 2 years, there's only one way to go. Really 2 ways, but one's a lot easier for straight down, right? So either you go to the Super Bowl and compete in the Super Bowl and win or lose, whatever, or you don't make that game and now you're not as good. And this New York media, it's very sensationalized. It's best or worst, a very superlative. So that's just kind of the way it went. Now, if you go in to that market, maybe with less expectations, sure, that's fine. I understand that argument. Let the guy sit, let him learn, let him, have a solid veteran ahead of him and kind of groom him. The Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith idea. Great. But you don't have that time in New York, right? All these guys that they have there, it's like the little league team that stays together for like 5 years, right? And then by the time they hit high school, they don't even have to give like pickoff signs anymore. They just know by body language, like, boom, we know what to do. I know when it's, when we're thinking about bunting, I know when to drag bunt, I know when to steal. I know all this stuff because we've done it for so long. You think the New York media is going to give them that kind of time?
No.
I mean, they have a lot of young guys, and I hope they do. I hope they keep expectations realistic. But I mean, that's just a tall task there. So, the most important thing for them is just little victories along the way. Block out the media as best you can. Let that thing marinate. And I think if anybody's got a shot to do it, it's Zach Wilson. I really like him. I liked him coming out in the draft process. He's got a couple things to clean up, I would think, in the pocket. Just every once in a while, there's a routine play that I'd like him to just keep it routine, right? I don't need, the Sports Center highlight every single drop back, right? But when it's time, when to flip that switch and be Zach Wilson and show us that amazing play when it's 4th down, when you got to scramble, when the game's on the line. But when it's just a wide open, easy grounder to second base, just throw the guy out at first. And I think his quarterback coach, Greg Knapp, is going to really, really help with that because he's been with some of the best in the league, with Peyton Manning, some of the best technicians that know how to keep the game simple when it's supposed to be simple. And then when it's time to, like I said, when it's time to, to go off and do something special and show me who Zach Wilson is, you'll know exactly when that is, and you'll flip the switch and do it.